Yo, this is Gator. We about to take it up a notch on Chop It Up. Oh, this is Gator. We about to turn it up a last time, so. Yo, this is Gator. We about to turn it up a notch and chop it up.
Turn me up!
We be going over time. We be going over time.
What them haters are saying. Tell me what you want. They gon' make me ride on this one, nigga.
We be going over time. We be going over time. We be going over time. Take it. We be going over time. We be going over time. We be going over time.
Y'all gon' make me come out.
Chop it up. Chop it up. Chop it up.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Chop It Up. Today's special guest is not really a special guest because for a lot of you who have seen me out in the streets, y'all know who I work with. But I would like to introduce to y'all Louisiana artist Gator in the building.
What's up? Big Foe, Big Gator. What's up? Glad to be here, so man. Glad to be on Chop It Up. Time to chop it up. Bring it to him raw.
Yeah. So before we get started, I'm gonna ask you a question, and you cannot use the word blessed.
All right.
So, with that being said, how are you doing today?
Today, I feel great, man. It's good vibrations. I feel like, it's long overdue for us to put it on wax. I feel good today, man. I got my bro with me, and we're doing big things, and yeah.
So just for the record, y'all, I'm fighting bronchitis or whatever they want to call it. I don't know. But just to give you guys a head up, if I'm coughing, that's what it is. It's not contagious. You ain't going to get it through the camera, nothing like that. But if I'm coughing, just know that that's what it is. But the whole reason I feel like I'm sick is for another reason, which we'll talk about later. But that whole COVID bullshit that they put us through with the mandatory, shots and all that, I got a story to tell about that, which I think is what's causing this to linger as long as it is, but we'll save that for another day. Today's about Gator. So Gator, I want to start off by asking you a question because this ain't ambush journalism, but today it's kind of it's me in the third person. So lately you've been getting introduced to like a lot of the people that I've been affiliated with and working with. Right. So I kind of wanted to just step back for a second and get your take on that. Like, last night, y'all, we got a chance to watch Diego Pacheco in his fight last night, which is one of the guys that we just shot a podcast for with RJ and the 411. Shout out to Diego. Yeah, Diego did his thing. Yeah. He held it down. So my question for you is not necessarily as an outsider, but just as like a third party who's seeing like some of the people in the circles that been working with, like what is your take on that? I've always just wanted to know what was your thoughts on it? Because a lot of people talk and they're like, oh, I know this person, this person, but now that you're actually starting to see it, I just wanted to get your perspective of what's your take on it?
My take on it is, man, my uncle used to tell me, it ain't messing with niggas. You've been messing with the wrong niggas. And I think that, man, bro, making moves, man, not just talking about it, just executing, you know what I'm saying, and making the dreams come true. That circle that you've introduced me to and that I've been blessed. Y'all, if you know me, you know I feel blessed. Yeah. to be able to interact with and mingle with and be introduced is on a high vibration, bro. Like it's surreal almost because I feel like that's where I belong. That's in a circle of people who's actually executing their dreams and setting goals and actually on that platform, of not your average Joe. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a very, 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 very great experience, and I'm very appreciative, you know what I'm saying, to even be able to be, in that circle, so.
That was something, so yesterday, I don't know if you caught it, but Dr. Alfaro had asked you a question yesterday, and he was asking you about what was your goals and your dreams, and you got a chance to tell him about a vision that you have. You want to share that?
Oh yeah. So right now I'm currently music business undergrad at Full Sail University. I'm chasing my dreams, man. And long term, I told Doc that I'm going to start an international label, man, and that's to provide like opportunity. So where I'm at in Louisiana, it's a rural area. It's out there where Britney Spears is. So it's a prime example of small town can produce big talent. And where I'm at, man, shout out to Tangipahoa, Louisiana, Tangipahoa Parish, 985. It's a lot of talent out there, man, but they just don't have the resources, you know what I'm saying? So my long-term goal is to be able to provide resources and platforms for, you know, the people that love me, the people I love home, to be able to shine, man, where you know, I'm chasing my dreams, you know, I'm in my stride. And so I'll be able to put them on that platform long term, and I'll be doing what I love doing and making money doing what I love doing. You know, it's like surreal.
So what is the name of your international label?
The name, everybody was asking me the name, and I didn't want to leak it yet, but but you know what? It's time. So Fleur Elite, like the Fleur Elite is our state symbol. It's a part of me, and it's part of my identity, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna name it, Fleur Elite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I'm bringing all this full circle, because you're probably like trying to figure it out, is that I don't know if you caught it yesterday, but in the conversation with Dr. Alfaro, he asked you about the name. Do you know why he asked you about your name?
Why did he ask me? I'm not sure why he asked me.
Okay, so you didn't catch it. Okay, so Dr. Alfaro is very much about moving forward.
Right.
And so the reason he was asking you, like, if you had a couple dollars in your pocket, was not to insult you. What he was doing was saying, hey, are you willing to invest in yourself?
Right.
And so what he was doing was he was saying, hey, are you willing to invest in yourself? And if you answer the question yes, if you didn't have like your name established or whatever, he would have given you the money to get that off the ground.
That domain.
You see what I'm saying? Because anybody that comes around him, that's the first thing he does. He asks you who you are. He wants to get to know you. You know, he'll ask you like, what are you working towards? And whether it's financial or just backing, like maybe you might need the right connection. If he has that connection, he'll put you in contact with that connection, because ultimately you can't be in my circle if you're not moving forward.
Right.
Like that's just not even a question. Like it's like, hey, what are you working on? What do you need? Boom, it's there. Like it's instant. It's not, oh hey, well, I need $500. Oh well, hey, we'll get it to you in 3 months. It's like, no, like if you need it, he's gonna get it to you today, so that you can continue to move forward and make the pride and the progress that you need to make.
Chop it up.
And so, you know, that's why I wanted to bring you in that circle, because as an outsider, so a lot of you guys don't know like how me and Gator kind of work, but Gator's like my hype man anytime I do my live performances. But this is why for me, I needed you to be able to start seeing like how my people move, because I know I'm hard on you, because like I see, not that you're my protege, but if I had to leave Cartello Records or Sos Dior in the hands of somebody, I would want to know that I had someone who knew what the expectation level was, who had the ability to move forward,
right,
and be able to carry on that name, you know, prior to Fleur Elite, but knew how to go about doing it and make the right pride and strides, right?
Right.
And so for me, it was, I needed you to like be able to see how my people work, because so many times you guys like we take it for granted, you know, like Gator probably hates me at times because I'm always on this helmet, right? And I'm like, hey bro, you gotta move, like you can't be stagnant, like, hey bro, get off your ass, like come on man, we gotta work, we gotta do something, you know what I'm saying?
Fire lit, boy.
And so like, you know, I think of it kind of like if I step outside my shoes and I'm like, you know, how is Gator responding to this? It probably comes off like, man, I'm always like harping on you and I'm on your helmet and you're like, yeah, I know, Sos, yeah, I know. that's why for me it was really important for you to see how my entourage moves, because when they're all moving forward, I don't get the time to just kind of sit back and chill. Like, they'll call me and be like, hey, what are you working on today? Oh, well, I've got this podcast, I've got this music video, I've got this studio session. Like, they're asking me because they're checking to make sure, like, I'm not becoming stagnant. And so they're always, like, pushing me, like, hey, what are you working on? What's next? Hey, next week we're in Vegas for 4 or 5 days. And then after that, what's next, right? They're always, what's next?
Right,
like, what's next?
Right.
And so for me, I wanted you to be able to see that, because now you see it's not just me, it's everybody that I'm working with.
Right.
They're all doing behind the scenes. Like, you know, RJ and the 411 podcast just interviewed David Benavides, and you know, he's lining up some crazy shit coming up in the next couple of months. Right. And so, like,
shout
now, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it was so important for me to put you in front of them.
Right.
Because I wanted you to be able to see, like, damn, bro, like, all these people is moving. I need to be a part of that, because when I need to make my next move, now I know who I can contact and be like, yo, put me, you know, like, I need this connection. Hey, can you make it happen? Cool, yep, no problem. My circle is very much about trying to help each other be successful. And so, like, that's why I wanted to take the time and just kind of, like, get your impression on it, because now you're starting to see that. And I guarantee you, like, I promise you, Dr. Alfaro was going to tell me after he watched it, but I guarantee you the next time we go to a Benavides fight or one of these other fighters, he's going to be like, Gator, come on, man, let's go.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? And they're going to have you start getting in that circle too, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, you can't go into that ring and meeting those people and not be ready for it, you know what I'm saying? Right. They're not going to set you up for failure. So, you know, I was just kind of wanted to see, like, what your thoughts were, you know, kind of starting to see, like, how everything kind of transpired, who's doing what and how they're making moves. And
it's like a boss among bosses, man. Like, it's these guys are really all you guys. And shout out to you, Sos, man, because I look up to you like a brother, man, like a mentor. You've been a mentor. You've been lighting that fire up under me too, and keeping me, you know, not focused on life when it's lifing. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the big thing, compartmentalize, you know, your situations and just stay on track. And that's been keeping me dialed in and keeping me focused, man. And shout out to you, bro, like, for sure, man, because you've been a major blessing in my life, man. And I'm just glad to have you a part of my life, man. And as far as shout out to Doc, man. Doc is amazing, man. He's a good guy, good energy, good vibrations. RJ, I got to meet the fellas last night, and yeah, that's what I feel I need here, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, guys leading by example and not just talking about it with no action, bro. It's been all action. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they say it's happening, it's happening. Like, you know, and in the past, it's been around the opposite. You know what I'm saying? A lot of talk, but no action, bro. And yeah, in that circle, man, it's all action. Shout out to all the fellas from last night. And yeah, it's moving forward. From here on out, all gas, no brakes, man. As far as like the videos, the music, the business aspect of things, bro. And Cartello Records is going to the top, man. Like, and to be a part of that, bro, is, man.
You know, I do want to ask you though about last night. So for those of you who don't know, Dr. Alfaro, he's a hypnotherapist.
Yeah.
So last night, you know, he was working with you a little bit, and I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it, but we'll talk about it now because that's what the whole point of the show is.
Right.
At one point, you had made a comment and you had said you were like, nah, I'm built different, right?
Yeah.
Explain like what you meant by that. Like, was it the fear of being hypnotized?
It definitely was the fear of being hypnotized, man, because I was definitely fighting it.
yeah. But you know what's crazy though?
Yeah.
You might have been fighting it, but what's really crazy though is that at first, before you really started fighting it, it was working.
Yeah, it was working
because when he had you holding your fingers together, like you could see your fingers were twitching. Like they were trying not to stay closed, but it was like But that's when I could tell. I was like, yeah, he's fighting it right now.
Yeah, I started fighting it, bro. And to be honest with you, I started praying like, God, don't let this man. Cause I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if he was gonna send me into some type of trance that had me clucking like a chicken or like what is it? You know, I didn't know. I just didn't. Not saying that's what it was going. That's what it was gonna be. But I'm just saying I didn't know. Right. And so, like, I just started praying, like, God, please don't let me go into this hypnotic state.
You know what's really interesting about hypnotherapy and being hypnotized is that there's such a bad connotation for it because you see all the weird shit that they make people do when they're hypnotized, right? And so it's created this persona, like, anytime someone's trying to hypnotize you, that they're going to try to take advantage of you.
Right.
And so, like, for me, I was, like, I could see you were fighting it last night, and I was like, come on, just breathe, right? Because ultimately, for me as an outsider watching it, I was hoping that, like,
it worked.
It worked, not because I wanted you to be hypnotized, but I wanted you to be able to get to that point where, like, you got to relax and let it work in your subconscious, because I know you personally have been dealing with, like, not mental health issues, but just there's been a lot of things that have happened in your life that are creating, like, boundaries and walls in your life,
right?
Which it's not. Dr. Alfaro last night said that it's not a bad thing. I don't see it as a bad thing, but I do see it as things that are blocking you from being the man that you want to be and the man that you can be in the future. And so that's why for me, I was kind of hoping last night you would be like, you were in a small environment that you would kind of relax. But I will say, when there's people around, like, it automatically brings up that anxiety of, like, hey, what is he going to do to me in front of these people?
Right.
So, like, I wasn't expecting it to, like, work, but I was like, come on, like, hopefully it'll.
It was working. Like, I caught it. Like, I was like, oh, look, man, my fingers, like he did the test, and it was working, and yeah, that's the thing. Like, I do have walls and barriers built up, but I would like to enter that session with Doc, and I'm more susceptible to going through with a hypnotization therapist, sitting or whatnot with him, because I've heard, like, some of the stories that some of his testimonies, like prior clients or whatnot, and I'd be way open to that, man, because I have some stuff in my closet that I need to probably get out and vent and talk about that's been building up for years, you know what I'm saying? And I do believe that it would be healthy mentally and just period, you know what I'm saying? Just to...
and here's what's crazy too, is it's not just you, like, even for myself, because, like, he refers to you as a physical. They're basically, for those of you guys that don't know, there's two types of people in the world. You have physicals and emos, right? Physicals are people who associate with their feelings first, right? Emos, on the other hand, we're thinkers, so we'll naturally think about a situation before we let our feelings actually engage us in a situation. So, understanding that, for me, it was hard for me to do hypnotherapy because my brain is constantly thinking,
right,
and my brain never allows me the ability to just shut off. So, like, for example, like, when I go to sleep at night, I can't just go lay down and just naturally fall out. Like, my brain is still turning. It's thinking of what I got to do tomorrow, what I got to do next week, what I got next month,
right.
And it's just constantly going. So for me to fall asleep, it's extremely hard to fall asleep,
right.
But if I do get to sleep, I'm out,
right.
But if something, like, if a noise or someone comes and pushes me or touches me, all of a sudden I'm back, and my brain is just like click, 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 and then it takes a long time to wind down again. So for me, I have really bad sleep apnea, not in a bad way, but, like, it just takes me forever to fall asleep. And so for me, hypnotherapy is extremely hard because in my brain, it's like I'm telling myself, hey, I want this to work, but because I'm constantly thinking about how bad I want it to work, my brain never just relaxes enough for me to get to that emotional state where he can work on my subconscious, you know? And so that's why for me too, it's like, I don't just tell people, hey, go have him do it to you and not be willing to do it. I just have to figure out a different way of getting my brain to relax long enough that he can get to my subconscious to be able to help, because I've seen what it does for David Benavides. Like, I've seen what it does for other...
He really hypnotizes David.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Like, I mean, he's had multiple sessions with him.
Yeah.
And like, for example, when David laughs in his boxing matches, that's a part of his session. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because he's like, you know, when you take a hit, you're going to absorb that energy and you're going to laugh it off and you're going to come back stronger.
Right.
And so, like, that's part of, like, one of the things that Dr. Alfaro works on with David. And so, you know, I've seen how it works for people. So, like, not just for you, but also for myself. It's like, I really want to just be able to get to that place where I can use it, because I know, like, I have barriers. You know, my barriers are, like, I've helped so many people and they turn their backs on me.
Right.
You know, so we all have our different, so, you know, like, so that's why for me, you know, like, you know, I'm glad you at least got a chance to try it.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting.
You know,
I'm like I said, I want to go back and holler at Doc on 101, because there's some stuff like that I like to get off my chest, and I feel that like he said, those barriers will keep you from moving forward. And there's some stuff that I know personally that I've never discussed with anybody that might. It's time for it to, like, you know, it's like a burden on my chest, you know what I'm saying? So, and to release that, you know, I bet I would feel a million. Not that I feel bad now, but you know, I bet it would open up another level of security within myself to, you know, move forward and see what I'm capable of. Because how would you know what you're capable of if you don't shoot for it? You know, like you said, one of your personal goals was 50 videos, and the first year of shooting videos and.
Made it happen.
Man, I'm talking about boss on boss status, like, and it wasn't like shady videos. Shout out to Sos. Y'all check Circus out. Gator.
Dope video.
He shot my video Circus, man, and you have an array, a lineup of just amazing content and videos. You know what I'm saying? So, which
is all gonna be releasing this year. So, like, that's one of my personal goals, is that, you know, I can't let my music wait any longer.
Right.
You know, it's been on my heart to get it out, but now it's like, I don't care what I gotta do. If I gotta release it all at once, I'm gonna do that, because it needs to be out. Public needs to hear it. It's gotta go. It's
not fair to the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you have a catalog like so extensive, and all these different genres and all of these different lanes for different walks of life, like, that ain't fair to the streets, man. You got some fuego, and like me, I know I got some fuego, and it's not gonna be fair to the streets for us to just be sitting on this music and nobody hearing it, and then we're putting our blood, sweat, and tears into this craft. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift that we've been blessed to have, but everybody doesn't have that gift to be able to convey a message through a work of art. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only certain people that are blessed to have that talent, and we
not to cut you off, listeners. I gotta explain something to y'all real quick. What he's talking about right now is kind of an understatement. So, like, imagine y'all know I'm a recording artist. Some of you do, some of you don't. Some of you might see this show and go, okay, hey, he's a host, so, you know, whatever. When I heard Gator's song Circus before shooting the video, right? And I heard it and I was like, hey, you know, I like the music selection. You know, I was really, it was a vibe, and I was just like, all right, cool, I like the vibe, right? And I thought it was good, you know? It wasn't until I actually started shooting the video and was starting to work on the editing of the video that it actually crossed my mind how actually lyrically deep that song was. Yeah. Circus at a surface level is a song you can bump in the car, you can ride to it, you can feel it. But it wasn't until I actually started working on the song lyrically did I actually understand how deep that song was. I will make sure I leave a link to Circus for you guys to be able to check it out. It is a much watched video. My attitude towards Gator changed after seeing how lyrically deep that song was, because once I finally clued into, like, lyrically what you talked about after. Because, like I said, I listened to it lyrically prior to shooting the video.
Right.
But my intelligence level of the song changed because once I added the lyrical to the video aspect of it,
the visual,
I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit. Like what you was talking about, I was like, how the fuck did I miss that? Because I was like, and it really hit me different. Like, oh shit, this is like probably like one of my top 10 favorite songs by an independent artist. Like that, you know. And think about it, I'm an artist myself, so you already know I got songs that I think are you know up there in that range. But to have like to listen to another artist and be like, holy fucking shit, bro, like this song really is the truth. Yeah, man, I instantly became like a forever fan, and that's why I'm so hard. Like, yo, bro, you gotta drop your project, because it's like, man, like it just hit on a very different level. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna share the link. Y'all can check out Circus for yourself, but I'm not gonna tell you guys what I discovered from the video. I'm gonna let you guys do it for yourself. But with that being said, man, like that kind of really changed my perception of you as an artist, because I made me go, damn, bro, like, you know, I finally understood what circus meant. Right. And then that was like, whoa, like that was deep, bro. Yeah. Like that was real deep. Thank you. You know, so like that's why I'm so hard on you about getting your project out, because I'm like, man, it's one thing to be an artist who has the ability to make music, but to have such a lyrically deep engagement of the song, that is very different. Because a lot of artists, in my opinion, right now, they're on some weirdo shit, like, you know, like they just want to talk about guns and drugs and shooting, and I'm like,
it's weird, man.
Like, hey, no disrespect to the hitters, man. Y'all do your thing, that's your thing. But as an artist, I don't want my music to be about violence. Like, I want my music to motivate people or engage people in a different way where, like, they can relate to it. You know, a really big topic for me right now is just mental health, right? Like, you know, as of recently, you know, I've had a lot of people come to me because, you know, either their family members have been passing away, or just recently, the captain of a football team that I own, he just passed away from suicide. And, you know, I think sometimes if I had to ask him what music he was listening to, I can already tell you what kind of artist he was listening to, because he knows if he would have called me prior to that situation happening, he knows I would have talked him out of it. Right. That's why he didn't call me. Right. You see what I'm saying? And so for me, because I've had conversations with him before, like he had been struggling with it for a while, and so like he came to me and was like, hey man, like I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, hey bro, but you got to see it from the other perspective. Right. You know, look at the people who were looking up to you. Look at the football players on this football team that were looking up to you, that you were helping them get through their struggles to be able to play football. You were leading them. Right. So if you're leading them and you give up, look at all the impacts you made that were helping other people. All of that's gone because now you're not that leader anymore. Right. You were changing lives. And so for him to pass away from suicide like that, y'all, like, it's tough. That was really deep, and I'm like, so I had to kind of step back and go, well, why didn't he call me? And I knew he didn't want to call me because he knew I would have talked him out of it. And so for him, it was like, hey, like he made his decision, and he was just like, yo, it's my time to go. But he knows damn well if he would have called me, I would have talked him out of it. I'd have been like, hey bro, if you need to hop on a flight, hey bro, he knows I would have put him on the next flight. He'd have been sleeping in my guest bedroom because he knows I'm not letting him go out like that. You know what I'm saying? I've struggled with mental health issues. I've been suicidal in my past. But as y'all can see now, like, to go from having mental health issues of being suicidal, trying to commit suicide, to now being in the place where I am now, where I'm driving $100,000+ sports cars, and I've got my record label going, I got all this music I'm about to drop, you know, I got video production, I got this and that. Like, I don't have time for being suicidal, because it gets better. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we all mentally go through things, but if you take that mental effort to say, hey, I'm going to be better today, just even one little piece, over time it changes and it changes and it changes and it grows, and then before you know it, boom, now you're in a whole completely different place. And that's why it's so important to have mentors, you know what I'm saying? And that's why for me it was also important for you to meet those guys, because those are kind of my mentors, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm going through things, I'm dealing with things, whatever. But those guys will confide in me and say, hey, man, like, you know, what about this? You know what I'm saying? And so for you to be able to have that same group of mentors and leaders, you know what I'm saying, to help kind of not guide you, but give you different opportunities.
Right.
Like, that's why it's so important, because we as black people, we don't stick together. It's always been me versus the next person, and we need to get away from that, because ultimately, you saw last night, like, when you're around multiple people who are successful,
on the same vibration, man.
it changes your trajectory.
Right. They say you got 5 bums in the room, and you in the room. Guess who's bound to be the 6? You know what I'm saying? You got 5 millionaires, or 5 successful, or 5 positive people headed for great destiny, and you're in there with them. Guess who's gonna be the next one? You know what I'm saying? And that's for sure, for certain. One, like, it's no doubt. Like, if you start thinking those positive things and start training yourself to do those things, and you start executing, then that's your destiny. You know what I'm saying? It's bound to happen, and that's where I've been at. I've been just mentally, even throughout my hardships or whatever, woo. I still wake up and count my blessings, and I still put one foot in front of the other, man, and keep the mind frame that it can always be worse. We talked about that. Like, it's got people in Haiti eating mud off the ground just to fill a void of hunger in their stomach, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not in that position, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I keep that in mind, that it's always somebody doing worse, and I just stay positive and surround myself by positive people, and I already know great things are destined to happen. They've been happening, you know what I'm saying? Like, we did a show opening up for Sugar Free and Cocaine, and we did a show with 2 estranged music artists, like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Table of the Truth and Joey Cool, like, you know what I'm saying? And that was within, 6 months of me relocating up here to Washington, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I relocated up here because I lost everything in a tornado, man. Like, so, and then I come up here, and then within 6 months, boom.
So all right. So here's something that I found out when I was shooting my episode with Peg, which is I didn't realize he made the flyer for that event.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So
okay.
I just found that out 2 weeks ago, that he actually had made the flyer for that event.
Shout out to DJ Peg.
You know what I'm saying? But now being a part of both those shows, the Sugar Free Cocaine show versus Joey the Cool and Table of the Truth, how would you rate the performance? Like, as part of the performance, if you had to choose between those 2 shows, which performance do you think was better than the other? Not, they both were great shows.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you had to pick one versus the other, which one do you think was better?
Of the headliners, or
No, just of our performance.
Oh man, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or toot your own horn, but we killed both of them shows, man. It's like, it was like bananas, dog. Like, nobody went out there and did what we did. I mean, shout out to all the artists that was out there, and you know what I'm saying, but I don't think nobody did what we did, bro. Like, you know, we brought a different type of energy to the stage, man, you know what I'm saying, and rocked out, you know, but shout out to all the artists that were there, you know what I'm saying, and because everybody, you know, to get up there, to be able to get up there and perform in front of people is hard, you know what I'm saying, at point blank period, and like, you know what I'm saying, but we did it with ease, bro. Like, I mean, we practiced and we rehearsed, and it showed, you know what I'm saying, because it wasn't nothing sloppy.
So, okay, so let's talk about that for a sec, because I think that a lot of people don't really understand, like, where we're going with this, but a lot of artists, when they're getting ready for, like, a stage performance, they go to the DJ, they'll give them their music, they get up on stage, and, like, they just rap over their lyrics or whatever, right? And so, you know, that's just how some performers are, you know what I'm saying? But my team knows that anytime we're doing a show,
we're going to entertain you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get like a full-on concert level performance, even if it's at a hole-in-the-wall venue, whether there's 10 people or 10,000 people, you're going to get that same level of performance. And so, you know, being a part of my team and seeing like how I work, like, you know, we rehearse way in advance. Like we rehearse for like a month before we even go out to do those performances. Yeah. Because ultimately, like, there's a lot more involvement in my show. Like, it's not just rap over a beat. It's like, you know, we got different props that we'll bring out for a show, and the props are never the same. You know, we incorporate different movements or like just like interaction, the transition between one song to the next. Right. And so the expectation for my team when they're on my show is like, hey guys, like, you're not just gonna go out on stage and make a fool of yourself. Right. You're going out there with the intent of giving this crowd the best version of a performance you can. And so I expect my team to perform and know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and there's a lot more involvement in the show. And so, like, you know, we have like a month of rehearsals prior to going. You know what I'm saying? We still have fun in the moment because we're doing it live in front of a crowd. Right. But there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to prep for that. So when we get out there, like, we're in kill mode at that point. Like, right. You know, we're there to make any other performer on the stage look bad. Not disrespectfully, but just letting people know, like, hey, you came to see a Dior Gator show. Right. We're on a whole nother level.
You're gonna have to come with it. You're gonna have to come and like, it's difference between like just rappers or R&B singers and then entertainers. You know what I'm saying? Like you got like real entertainers, bro, like Bruno Mars. When you go to a Bruno Mars show, you're gonna be entertained. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like he's not gonna get up there and just, you know, sing his songs and then get off and that'll be it. You know, it's gonna be pyro and it's gonna be, you know, props and choreography and stuff like that. And that's how we coming, man. Like, you're gonna get entertained. You know what I'm saying? And we work hard behind the scenes to make that happen. Shout out to DJ Warray too. I mean, we even went as far as not using the house DJs. Like, when I got our own.
We don't use house DJs in any of my shows.
Yeah, like
that don't work.
And we incorporate that in the shows, and they have to be there for rehearsal too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Our DJ has to be there for the rehearsals. Yeah. And it's not, you can't just be a Serato DJ and think you're gonna just come up and do a Sos Dior set. Like, no. You need to be a turntablist. If you don't know what that means, you're gonna learn. You need to go figure it out. Right. But you gotta be the DJ is just as important as part of the show as the hype man or Sos Dior. Like, we're all there as a conglomerate to put that show together. So even though I might be the one that's on the show as Sos Dior, my hype man Gator, my DJ, whether it's DJ Warray or whoever, like, they're all as equally important. Because Sos Dior that show cannot happen without the DJ. It can't happen without the hype man, because the hype man is what's bringing that next level of entertainment to Sos Dior, and without having you there, it's a very different dynamic. I can rock a show by myself, but the dynamic and the energy is on a whole nother level when you've got a really dope hype man. Now, I'm not saying just any hype man. Like, you need to find the right hype man for you. Right. But when you're on stage with me, it's a very different performance. It's next level shit. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, people contact me and they're like, hey, like, when's your next show? And I'm like, nah, man, like, when we put on those 2 shows, like, y'all missed it. Like, y'all gotta understand, like, a lot of artists, they just go out, put their music on, and away they go, right? There's no financial involvement, there's no rehearsal involvement. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no entertainment involvement. They just go out and do their thing. Like,
let them know, like, but behind it, man, it's money that it goes into as far as like merch, as far as like the microphones, the cordless mics for venues that might not have the cordless mic set up, like just like gas, food, and stuff that goes behind. Like, it's costly, and to be honest, sometimes, man, just to perform in those shows, we probably put in more money than, you know what I'm saying, than
the financial cost to put on a Sos Dior show ranges from $2,000 to $5,000 per show.
Right.
So when people act like, oh, hey, I'm just gonna miss this show and catch the next one, it's like, nah, bro, like you need to be there.
Right.
Because first off, no two shows are the same.
None.
If I had two shows back to back, like literally back to back nights, both shows are gonna be very different.
Right.
That's how the entertainer keeps their pose and has fun with it. But with that being said, the props, the entertainment that I bring, the way we transition between songs will be different. So in other words, you can't miss my show. Like if I'm doing two shows, you need to be at both because you'll see two completely different showcases.
Right.
And so the financial cost for me to put on shows is a lot more expensive because I'm doing different props or I'm doing different costume changes. We didn't even talk about the costume changes, but like that 15-minute set, we killed it. They was like, hold on, what? They like, I never seen somebody do it so quick. How the hell did y'all do it? Because we had it rehearsed. We knew what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, just I think a lot of artists, y'all need to learn from that because like when you want people to come out and watch you perform, you need to put on a show and stop treating it like, hey, I'm just out here smoking weed, drinking before your song comes on. You forget half your lyrics. Like that shit's not okay. Yeah,
you killing your crowd. You killing your viewers. Like your core fans who really want to come see you and stuff. Like let them. If they're paying money for these shows and stuff, entertain them. You know what I'm saying? Don't have them come out and they spending money at the door, spending money at the bar, spending money for the food. You know what I'm saying? And then you come out and then it's just like.
Oh, whatever. Like,
I don't think
that's disrespect. That's a disrespect to artists around the world when y'all do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, like, that shit is not okay. There's been times where like I paid, $40, $50 to get into a venue for the night, and I see a performer go up on stage and they're fumbling their words. Yeah. And they're like, oh, sorry guys, I'm drunk and I'm high. Like that shit pisses me off. Like I'm ready to fight because I'm like, hey bro, I just paid $40, $50 to get in this venue for you to act like that. Yeah, bro. Man. Like I will knock the shit out of you, bro. I want my fucking money back.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like I take my shit seriously if I'm paying. Like if you got artists out there, whoever watched this show, if you got people paying to go into the venue to watch you as a performer, you need to perform.
Perform, man.
Go perform first. When you done, then go drink and get high.
Yeah.
But when it's your time to go on stage, you got to think about it. The years you invest in your craft to be able to get up there to even have a song. The fact that you're even promoting yourself as an artist with that name. You need to respect the music craft and put on a hell of a show so that those fans go, hey, that $40, $50 that I paid to go watch the show, that show's off the hook. Every artist on that showcase was good. Not just the headliner. Everybody was good.
Right.
But you need to change your attitude and how you go about presenting yourself because ultimately that's what gets those fans coming back to the next artist who does their show.
Right.
Because what happens is that fan will go, hey, I paid $50 to go to this show. The artists were a bunch of bullshit. So when the next artist says, hey, I've got a show, what happens? They don't want to go to it because they're basing it off of what you did.
Yeah.
That's not fair to that other artist. That other artist put in the time, the work, the dedication, but they're not getting the love that they deserve because you fucked up your shit 2 weeks ago or a month ago.
It's not okay, man.
It's not okay. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to work on your craft and really be about your artistry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And that's the difference between like professional as in professionalism and you know what I'm saying, it comes with experience, I guess it comes with time, but that's the difference between your average and your elite, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like we're bringing top tier to the game, you know what I'm saying, top tier songs, top tier videos, top tier performances, you know what I'm saying, and you guys should stay dialed in, man, because we just got it's last year was work, grind. This year is you're gonna have tangible evidence of
all the work that we've been
what we've been putting in, man, and I'm excited for, like Elon Musk said on at Trump's inauguration, I'm excited for the future, man. You know what I'm saying, like, because it wouldn't be fair to the streets for them not to see what we got going on, bro. And we've like been really grinding. And you on top, like your work ethic, man, has been straight motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, and I know I can't slack around you because it ain't gonna happen. Like, it's just, it don't even, it's like all vinegar, oil and water, man. It's just not gonna mix, bro. Like you gotta be on it. Like this guy is like a machine, man. Like it's the things you have going on behind the scene, bro. Like I'm looking at it and I've seen it firsthand, and to be a part of that, and man, it's just and to have that mentorship and to have that to see that and tangible evidence of what comes behind hard work, bro, is just amazing, dog. And you know, keep me motivated and keep me on my P's and Q's and shit. Hey,
it's interesting how people will use the term like hard work, but you don't notice the difference until you've seen two people who say that they're doing hard work, and then you go, hold on, this is some next level shit over here.
It's different, bro. Like, it's not. Hard work is an understatement, bro. Like you can go dig a ditch and that'd be hard work. This guy is digging canals, trenches, like it's a whole different level, man. It keeps me on my P's and Q's, and it keeps me motivated to the goal being the world hearing the music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just set on my hood hearing the music, or I'm not just set on just making a hood song and it pop for a buzz for a little bit. Like being around you has made me want the world to hear the music. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be heard internationally. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be heard internationally. You're gonna be heard internationally. You know what I'm saying? And as an artist, man, like that's what else could you know what I'm saying? That's how you know what tier of artistry that you're on, bro. And shout out to you, man. Like shit, like that's a whole different level of work ethic. Like, and if you apply that in your life, no matter whether it's worth, whether it's music, whether it's being a better dad, a better brother, a better friend, a better homie, a better whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you apply that work ethic to your life, sky's the limit, man. Like, ain't no telling, like, whatever you thought would be the max in your mind, I'm saying in general, whatever you think might be the max of the shit, you're gonna surpass that, bro. And you know, it's just you're not gonna be able to fathom what you are capable of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always surprise myself all the time I limit myself and think this is where it's at, this is the highest, and then like when you actually surpass that and want to keep going to see what you're capable of, that's amazing. Just being alive, bro. Like, you know.
So with that being said, because I know we're almost at time.
Yeah.
Based off of like just the interactions lately that you've been introduced to, kind of knowing like your own personal steps of like how you go about doing things.
Right.
What is one takeaway that you could share with the audience of, you know, like when you know, like how you said, like, you know, you set your goal and then you surpass that. So like, do you have one or two tips that you want to share with the listeners real quick about like how do you
just believe in yourself? Be willing to gamble on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Don't limit yourself to a certain box or a certain standard. Like just gamble on yourself. You know what I'm saying? We all go to work and you work these 9 to 5s and you're doing like, you know, you're making a whole bunch of other people rich, and it's just an entrepreneurship mind frame that you've turned me on to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've made a whole lot of people rich, and I've been blessed with a talent that I've been putting on the back burner myself. You know what I'm saying? That can surpass wealth and all of that, man, and actually change lives and actually motivate, and actually I've been blessed with a voice to be able to do that, man. But I've cut it short. I mean, I've not really cut it short, but I put it on the back burner because I didn't believe that it was that big of a gift. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
underestimated it.
I underestimated it, man. And like, you've helped me to realize, like, yeah, man, hey, gamble on yourself, put in hard work, pay now, play later. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of mind frame that I have now. And for all the artists out there, man, hey, just believe in yourself, man. If you got it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? And go for it. Like, don't let anybody tell you anything different, bro. Just shoot for what you know. Shoot for your gamble on yourself, and stick to it. Mm-hmm. You'll be surprised where it takes you.
You know, and with that being said, y'all, there's only one thing that I would change is it's not gambling on yourself when you believe in yourself.
Right.
So one thing you guys need to do, in my opinion, is believe in your talents that you were given. They're God-given talents. You don't have to believe in God, but they're God-given talents because no man gave it to you.
Right.
Right? It was born in you when the day you were born. That was given to you by God. So you can choose to not believe in God, whatever. But at the end of the day, you need to take those talents that you have and you need to utilize them to your best ability, share them with the world, and see what opportunities come from that. And with that being said, that is another episode here on Chop It Up. We'll see you next time.
Gator.
We be going over time. Take it, limits. We be going over time. We be going over time. We be going over time. Take it, limits. We be going over time. We be going over time. We be going over time. Take it, limits. We be going over time. We be going over time. We be going over time. Take it, limits. We be going over time. Take it, limits. We be going over time.